Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, I'm joined by Gregory Poilasne, CEO of Nuvve Holding Corporation. The company has recently announced a new 40 megawatt battery storage project in Austria, expanding its European footprint and building on recent developments in Japan as it continues positioning itself within the fast growing market for energy storage and grid services. Gregory, welcome to the watch list.
Thank you, Ricky. Very, very nice spending some time with you today.
It's so lovely to have you with us, especially on the back of this amazing announcement. You recently announced a new battery storage project in Austria, which follows closely behind your recent expansion in Japan. And I believe you have another announcement today. It feels like Nuvve is building momentum across multiple regions. Can you walk us through what these announcements mean for the business and how these developments connect strategically?
Absolutely. So we announced a partnership with a family office called Omnia Global, based in Switzerland, and this is really what's driving our expansion, the expansion of our business in Europe. And so today we announced a third project with Omnia, which is a project in Romania. It's a 60 megawatt, 120 megawatt hour project, and this is on top of a Swedish project of 50 megawatt, 75 megawatt hour, and a project in Austria for 40 megawatt and 80 megawatt hour batteries. Right. So now combined, we have 150 megawatt of capacity that's going to be online between the first one in Q2, second one in Q3, and third one in Q4. So by the end of the year, we'll have 150 megawatt. A slight interesting point, right? Sweden and Austria are more like mature market, whereas Romania is a more newer market with pricing that have been rising pretty significantly. So a mix of risk and return also on those projects. And that goes on top of obviously what we are doing in Japan, which is broader, right? In Europe, we are looking at a model where we are owning and operating those batteries. In Japan is a lot more flexible. Japan is a less mature market. And there we are looking at either, for example, we announced a project where we actually got paid to install a battery. And we already received $1 million to do that. So $3.3 million project total. And we are looking forward to getting this battery installed before the end of the year. And then also we have some announcement around aggregation of batteries. So in this case, somebody owns a battery and they want us to be the operator. And in this case, we are making about 12 to 20% of the revenue. And then finally, there's another model in Japan, which is where we actually, somebody install a battery, owns it, and it's called a tolling agreement, where in this case, we are just using the battery, we are renting the battery basically to participate in the market. So we're looking at a diversity of addressing the market across Europe, Japan, and also in the US, where we have our initial business as well.
Great stuff. And you spoke there about the sort of flexibility of the Japanese market there, but utilities everywhere are increasingly looking for flexible grid solutions, particularly with renewables adding variability. We're seeing storage and grid services become more central to their energy mix. How does this European expansion in Romania and Austria fit into your longer term shift towards energy storage and virtual power plant strategy?
Yeah, I think there's a very short-term opportunity in Europe, right? There's a lot of countries, especially close to the border with Russia, that have been kind of cutting off the connection of the grid with the Russian grid. And therefore, they are putting themselves in somewhat of a bottleneck situation. And so in this case, that means the market that we're addressing, the ancillary services market, can get very high. And so in some cases, you see a very fast return on investment, like sometimes less than a year, you get a payback on the battery that you deploy. So that's why we're very interested in those market in Europe. I think this is also totally transformative from where we are coming from. What we are coming from, the technology called vehicle to grid, and we've been pushing for EVs to come out. It's obviously there's a lot more uncertainty around that. Batteries are driven by, as you said, renewable generation, data centers, and also some geopolitical aspects.
And staying on that theme there, actually, there's a clear industry trend toward stationary storage becoming a core infrastructure layer alongside EV integration. How central do you see stationary battery systems to Nuvve's growth over the next 3 to 5 years? How does that evolve alongside your V2G platform?
I mean, we've talked about it. We have a 1 gigawatt pipeline here, plus actually 1 gigawatt plus pipeline in Europe over the next 24 months. We have a similar size pipeline in Japan, but with maybe more extended in period of time to deployment. So those are clearly changing Nuvve's business.
Well, thank you so much for those updates today, Gregory.
You're welcome. And just just to finalize things here, from a revenue perspective, we expect to see that really growing at a fast pace over the next few months. And really, Nuvve is a new company with this partnership with Omnia Global. We're becoming a real key player in the energy storage around the world.
Thank you so much. Once again, that is Gregory Poilasne, CEO of Nuvve Holding Corporation. For more on the company's energy platform and global expansion, visit nuvve.com. That's all for this episode of The Watch List. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.